everybody, welcome to Inside the Bears Den, the Fall Sports Preview Edition. I'm Chris Malanga, voice of the Golden Bears on the Golden Bears Sports Network. With me is Nathan Keel, our new athletic director here at BHS, and we've been together side by side a lot, but this is a kind of new experience for both of us.
It is, yeah. So it's different roles, same people, and here we are in the fall, and so they won't be able to hear us as much on Friday nights, but it'll be fun nonetheless.
All right, so for those of you that don't know, first off, I am now an employee of Bryan City Schools. I'm the Director of Media and Communications here at Bryan City Schools, and as part of that role, I'm going to be bringing the broadcasting program from the Golden Bears Sports Network into the school, and our hope is it'll become a student program. We'll have student camera people and play-by-play, sideline reporters and all that, so we'd love to get students involved. And so that's kind of the biggest, most exciting piece for me. But also, we've got a really big project going on out at Golden Bears Stadium. So I thought we could take this opportunity to just chat about that a little bit, tell everybody what's going on and what to expect. So,
yeah, I mean, just to look, I was out there a little bit ago, and if you look at the field right now, they're putting the turf down. I think finishing touches are going on, putting the rubber crumb on. Beautiful looking field. We have the new lights that are up right now. They should be on and working in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then you got a new video scoreboard out there, which is only going to highlight the great things that Golden Bear Sports Network is doing. So, yeah, a lot of exciting things going on.
This is a big project for the athletic boosters, a lot of donors that made this happen, and there's going to be a really cool donor wall that is going to recognize those people. There's new batting around the fence, and then a lot of donor recognition as well. I just think it's kind of amazing how, we had a good stadium before, but this is just worlds above.
Yeah, and I was telling somebody else, I said, if you look at our facilities from top to bottom, I don't think there's anybody in the area that has better facilities than we do, and this is only kind of takes us up a notch a little bit. Like you mentioned the wind screens before on the outside of the fence, the new LED lightings that they use in college arenas and pro stadiums. So yeah, I mean, it's top notch all the way.
We have the turf being done by Maumee Bay Turf Company, and as Nathan said, that should be done shortly. Those new lights are Musco lights, and again, you said, I mean, this is what they use at Georgia Tech and a lot of different big places as well. And then the video board, which we anticipate will totally highlight things, plus a new sound system.
Oh yeah, how do you forget a 6-foot high speaker?
I know, it's crazy. So we should be excited to get that started this fall. So we are going to preview all the fall sports in this program, but let's talk briefly about what's going to happen on the first night of the football on the 18th. What all is taking place? Because there's a lot of stuff going on.
There is. If you look at August 18th, it's we keep highlighting it as the biggest game in Bryan history as far as attendance goes. So we're going to start off the night at from 5 to 6:30. There's going to be a tent out there. Anybody that contributed to the project will have things like cookies, cake, water, and then along with that, at 6 o'clock we have Meet the Team. So all of our fall teams will come out. And then with that, we'll also do our spring state recognition with some of our athletes. And then after Meet the Teams, we have turf dedication. And while that's all going on, we also have youth autograph night. So all the high school students can sign autographs for all the youth that come to the game.
Now, speaking of youth coming to the game, a change this year, really exciting change, is all students pre-K through 12th grade get into all the Bryan games for free, which is cool.
It's been great. We've had great reception from business in the community. They've stepped up. We've had some families even step up, and they think it's a great idea to have somewhere for the youth to go on a Friday night to experience a football Friday or any game for that matter during the week. So people have stepped up, and for their sponsorships, all students from Bryan won't have to pay for a single ticket all year long. So we've gotten rid of family passes. We've kept adult passes the same price, so we've not raised prices at all. So it's been great, and I think with the timing of everything right now with the capital campaign and how the money was raised for that, we kind of want to give the community, the families a break a little bit here and come in and experience our facilities, come to a game, because what we don't want to have happen is we don't want people not to come to a game because of the cost of admission.
So what does a student need to do to get into a game? So it's a little different if you're pre-K to 6th as opposed to 7 to 12.
Yeah, so pre-K to 6th grade students, they're going to need to come in with a paid adult admission. So mom or dad's going to have to bring them in, and that's for supervision purposes. Right. 7th through 12th grade, they can come in. Eventually in September, we're going to get IDs for everybody, and so the students are going to be required to bring an ID or present an ID to the ticket takers. That way we know they're a Bryan student. And that sort of thing. So eventually we'll go to the IDs, but right now they can just come to the games. We're gonna use the honor system there for our students.
And first game in the new stadium is the 18th, which is next Friday night. And That'll be an exciting game. Should be a ton of people there and a ton of fun.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a huge event, and everybody I've talked to, and Brian, I haven't ran into a single person yet that's not planning on attending.
So everything going to be done and ready, we're hoping.
I hope, as far as I know, done and ready, and I won't sleep until probably that night.
I hear you. Along with the turf, when we talked about the turf previously, we said about it being a multi-purpose facility for all the youth sports and all the high school sports. So we're going to see 5 soccer games on the turf this year.
Yeah, that's just so far. I mean, we have 5 scheduled right now, 2 for the girls, 3 for the boys. Every Sunday it's going to be used for flag football for the youth for about 3 hours. We have 5th and 6th grade football that's going to use it on Saturdays. We've been contacted by some of the youth soccer teams that want to use it. You really use it for about any sport that you can play outside, which is really great, especially because I love the way that it was community funded and now the community gets to use it.
You mentioned that we are going to be doing, as part of the Meet the Teams, the state recognition. Had a couple athletes go to state this year. You want to kind of recap those really quickly?
Yeah, so Jelana Schenkel, she finished, I believe, in 3rd place in the 200 meter. She finished in 7th place in the 100 meter run at state. So she's going to be recognized. And then Kate Thormeyer as well. Kate qualified for the 1600 meter. And Kate's on our cross country team. We're going to meet the teams there. So we'll kind of congratulate her on her accomplishment from the spring. We'll do that at Meet the Teams.
Had an exciting spring sports season. A lot of good things happening, track and field, softball, baseball, all sorts of good stuff happening. And we're excited that we had that in the spring, and now we're getting ready for the fall, which is a busy time.
Oh, it is. And you look at the momentum of Bryan sports right now, I feel like coming from the spring into the fall, big things are coming, and I know there's a lot of people excited, so it should be a lot of fun.
Let's talk about new coaches, or one new coach this year in the fall. We're going to meet all of our coaches, and we're actually going to talk to our girls golf team as part of this Inside the Bears Den special edition. But let's talk about our new girls golf coach.
Yeah, Chad Henry. Chad comes to us basically, I was getting my son's haircut one day, and Chad's a barber. He owns a barber shop here in town, and I was talking about some of the open positions, and Chad had some experience. He enjoys golf. He's played it. His daughter played at Sonora. So, yeah, I'm really excited to have him on board. He's been great all summer, asking questions, what he can do to get the girls out, communicating, practice time. So he's been great to work with.
And we hope that program will continue up. I know there's a lower baseline where you have to be able to score as a team, but right now the 3 girls on the team are participating as individuals, and it's kind of cool that is an option. They don't have to play on the boys team anymore.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, you have Chloe Meeks is back from last year. Yep. Chloe was on we'll call the inaugural girls golf team. And she's improved immensely over the course of the year. So it's nice to see the girls grow and try something different, because we don't offer it in the junior high levels or anything like that. They kind of have to do it on their own. So it's been great to see the growth, and I look forward to it. Like I said, Coach Henry's been very adamant about trying to grow the program, and so we're looking forward to that.
Before we get into interviewing and talking with the coaches, let's just talk about our social media and our website and some changes that are going to be happening there. First off, if you have used the Bryan Middle School, High School Facebook page to get your sports information, your scores, that's going to change. It's now the Bryan Sports Facebook page, and we'll link to that on the school website and on the school social media. But that's a welcome change, that we'll be able to have a home just for sports stuff.
Oh yeah, hey, huge following to begin with Bryan Sports and Golden Bear Sports Network. So that's been great. Coaches are entering all their results and everything, able to share it on social media and get that information out to parents and fans.
And then the official athletic website is going to be changing, so you don't have to go to the school website anymore. Just bryansports.com is where you'll be able to go get all the information, and you'll be able to stream the games on Friday nights.
Yeah, so it'll be great. It'll be fun.
So, and one little programming note that we'll do, because of the other increased duties that I'll be doing on Friday nights, I haven't figured out how to bilocate myself yet, or to be in 2 places at once, or clone myself, because I think that would be really handy. But Dave Brobston will be joining the GBSN team. He's going to be doing our play-by-play for football, and then I will be doing color on away games. Derek Hugg will be doing color on home games. And not only are we doing football in the fall, we actually have added a couple extra things. 2 volleyball games, 2 boys soccer, 2 girls soccer games this fall. So a total of 41 events this year alone on regular season. Am I crazy?
I think so. You're going to be busy. We thought you were busy before. Yeah, you're going to be even more busy now.
Yep. And so all students out there that might be interested in participating, either by helping us out with the video boards or being a part of the broadcast, running a camera, doing whatever, please reach out and get in touch, and we'd love to have you a part of it. All right. Should we kick things off and get started with talking with our coaches?
Let's go ahead.
All right, we're going to take this time out. When we come back, we'll start talking to our fall sports coaches after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Malanga alongside Sarah Thiel, the girls soccer coach, first-year coach last year, into your second year. And when you look at the season last year, kind of evaluate how you thought it went.
Thankfully, the girls knew what they were doing. A lot of credit to them. We had a really good time. Came out, they were willing to work hard. Great start to the season, and then that momentum kept going throughout the rest of the season.
It was a good season for the Lady Bears. You know, they won. What did we say it was?
15-2-0 in season, 16-3-0 with sectionals and districts.
Wow. All right. Well, so let's talk about this year. Well, first off, who did we lose off last year's team?
We lost two seniors. Redhead was one of our goalkeepers, and Ella Miller was one of our defenders.
Yeah, and that's always hard when you have a senior that leaves or a couple seniors that leaves. You always have to do that. But every team has to deal with that, right?
Yes, it's hard to lose Letterman.
Yeah. Coming back, though, what do you got coming back? You probably have a pretty good nucleus, only losing two seniors.
Yes, our senior class this year is very strong. We've got 9 seniors, all of which are starters on our field, so very senior dominant presence out there. We've got some returning juniors and sophomores, as well as 5 freshmen.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. If people are watching the games, who are they going to see out there? I mean, we know Kyleigh Thiel has been around, some of the other girls that we might see.
You'll see Ella Voigt out there, Rachel Fireovid. Backline still is Marley Yoder. We've got Gabby Mossberg is taking over some of that, kind of playing around center back, outside back there. Mara Smith, returning letterman. Avery Brown, Tabitha Taylor, Macy Burton, and then Ava Zimmerman up top.
And who's your goalie this year?
Callista Wasson.
So she has some experience coming back too.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, when you look at the early season, you guys have had a couple of scrimmages. You had a big win over Van Wert, am I right? Was that who you played first?
Yes.
That was a big win.
Yep, we had Genoa, Van Wert, Anthony Wayne, and the alumni scrimmage.
Yeah, the Anthony Wayne was a tie, 1-1.
Yes.
And that's a really good soccer program.
Yes, our girls got a goal in the first half and then held their own until about the last 5 minutes of the game. Then they tied it up on us.
Tied it up on you. So going in, as you go through those scrimmages, you know, how does that get you prepared for the season? I mean, is it a chance to kind of play with lineups? What do you take away from like scrimmages at the beginning of the season?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that. It's who can we put in at different positions. We've got a very, very strong starting lineup, but the nice thing this year that we've noticed that we really don't miss a beat even if we put all 10 that are on the bench up on the field and pull all of our starters out. We continue playing as a unit, and you don't really notice a dip in talent out there.
That's pretty awesome. When you look at your schedule, how does it lay out for you as far as league, non-league? You got some tough non-league competition?
Yes, we actually have our first in-season game Tuesday against St. Mary's.
Well, we're just starting off real easy.
Yes, that'll definitely be our biggest challenge of a non-league team this year. Obviously, Archbold always gives us a really good game, so we're looking towards that, and that's our second to last game of the season.
When you look at your league this year, the NWAL is tough across all sports. What do you see the league shaking out like?
I mean, ultimately, we'd love to make another league run. I know that's one of the goals the girls had at the start of the season when we sat down and established team goals. But we've got a very competitive league. I don't see any of the games really being a wash one way or the other. It's going to be coming out and who wants it more. Everyone's working hard. Everyone wants it.
Anything can happen on any given night.
Yes.
Talk about any other games that you look at on the calendar. You mentioned Archbold and St. Mary's. Is there anything else on the calendar you look at and you go, that's really going to be a game. That's going to be really competitive. That's going to be a tough one.
Last year, Bath gave us a really good game. That was a tough one. Fought it the whole time. I think it was 0-0 until the last couple minutes, and we got one up on them.
Wow.
If I remember right, Evergreen was a pretty good game too.
And also this year, a new little wrinkle, you're going to play a couple of games on the new turf. So
yes.
How does that make the girls feel?
We're excited about it. A few years ago, turf used to be a kind of a off-putting thing to them just because the speed of play. Almost all of our summer league games were on turf this year, and about half of our away games last year were turf, so it's really not anything different. I think they actually like the predictability of it versus the grass where you don't know the bounce.
It could be short or long or what have you. That only helps you in the postseason because the postseason is on turf.
Correct.
So it should be good. And we should have some good home field advantage at Golden Bear Stadium.
Yes.
You guys are playing, let me see if I'm right, Springfield and Defiance on the turf, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yep,
So,
we'll have both our Saturday games, I believe. We got the August 26th game,
Yeah.
and I think we turn around and then actually it might be Shawnee.
Yeah.
Shawnee's a turf game,
Yeah.
September 2nd.
all right. So we have 2 of your games on the Golden Bear Sports Network, so we look forward to that.
Awesome.
And airing those. We're going to do the games on the turf simply because we have internet at the football field and we don't have it out here. So technology being what it is. So Sarah, any final words before we let you go?
We're just excited for the season. Got a great group of girls, very good, cohesive environment with them. So we're just gonna have a really fun season and see where it takes us.
All right, Sarah Thiel from the girls soccer team. We're going to take this time out, come back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out on the Fall Sports Preview here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. I'm Chris Melanga alongside Coach Todd Grosjean of the golf team, and we usually talk to you during basketball season, but golf is the other thing you coach. And how long have you been doing that?
This will be my 4th year at Bryan. I also coached girls golf at Archbold 1 year, so overall 5 years.
What kind of draws you to coaching golf?
Well, I played it in high school. You know, I've been playing it since I was probably 8 or 9, and just love the game. Spent a lot of time on the course with my dad, and then I had the opportunity to coach my kids. And then obviously when this opportunity opened up a few years ago, I jumped at the chance. And obviously with the tradition that Bryan's had in golf over the years, and just the quality kids that you get the opportunity to coach, it's well worth the time.
Absolutely. And we talked a little bit, I think, in the past about how golf is a sport that you can use the rest of your life. You know, basketball,
Absolutely.
great, you can play it in high school, maybe college if you're lucky, but golf's something you can do all the time.
Yeah, and you know, it can be a frustrating game at times. I'll
Absolutely.
tell you that. But you know, it's something that obviously you get outdoors, you get some exercise. You can do it with the whole family if your family gets involved in it, which has been the case with my kids and my family. But you know, these kids that we're getting the opportunity to coach this year are a really great group of kids, and we're looking forward to a great season.
All right, let's talk about the makeup of your team. You got 7, is that right?
Yes, we're at 7. We have 7 guys, 4-letter winners, led by senior Noah Heward. This will be his 4th year as a golfer, and there's anybody better in Northwest Ohio, in my opinion. He's one of the better players in all of Northwest Ohio, if not Ohio. You know, he's played as a freshman. He was I think all league. I think he's been all league all 4 years. So we're looking for some big things out of Noah. Hopefully he gets the opportunity to make another trip to Columbus if things work out.
Yeah, absolutely. And who else do you have go with you this year?
Well, we have Braden Hall. Braden's a junior. He also started out as a freshman, lettered, and I think that might have been his first year of playing, and he's come a long way. And then we have Kai Dauber, who's a sophomore, younger brother of Drew that graduated last year, and Kai spends a lot of time on the course on his own and plays a lot of golf, and very good player. And then we have Eli Schlade, also a senior. Eli played for the first time last year and lettered, and we're looking for Eli to contribute this year, probably as our 4-man in the lineup. So we got some experience back. We do have some new faces, a couple freshmen that are getting thrown in the fire. Brenton Wheeler's first time he's ever played, and Jaden Deal, who is we're sharing him with the soccer program, and Jaden's doing he had an opportunity to play yesterday in our first invite at Defiance, and he's getting better every day. And then we also have, I'm going to draw a blank here. Drew Engstrom, who's a junior. He played football last year, but battled through some injuries and is out. He works out at the golf course, and a couple kids talked him into coming out, and he's going to factor into our lineup as well. So we have a nice group. We got a pretty strong nucleus with Noah, Kai, and Braden, and hopefully our younger kids come along.
You guys play now at Suburban, which is a change. Obviously, the course and striker is no longer, and so that's a change, but you guys have to share that with a lot of schools.
Yeah, there's, I think, 10 schools out there playing and trying to practice, so we've had to be a little bit creative with our practice time and scheduling, and we have a lot of away matches this year by choice. I tried to talk to Teresa Kuzmal and our new AD Nathan Keel into getting us on the road so we can play on some courses and you know, get challenged. Obviously Noah needs to be challenged, right, as well as Braden and Kai. So, but Suburban's a great venue. Matt Struble out there has done a great job, you know, trying to accommodate everybody. Hopefully we're gonna have the opportunity to play a handful of matches. I know we have 2 home league matches out there, and then I think 2 non-league ones, but everything else is on the road.
All right, and how does the season kind of break down for you? You guys do a lot before the school even starts.
Yeah, I mean, we have this week especially. We started yesterday at the Defiance Invite and finished second, that was an outstanding score for our kids. We had 3 kids in the 70s. Noah Heward had a 72. He was 1 over, played really solidly. Braden Hall shot a 79, and Kai Dauber had a 78, and both of them were in the top 10. So Eli Schlade struggled a little bit, had a couple bad holes, and finished with a 97. But you know, 326 in our first invite against about 16, 17 other schools. We finished, unfortunately, runner-up to Archbold, who's in our league. So, but that hopefully is motivation for our kids to keep working all season and maybe get an opportunity to knock them off in our home match or in the league tournament.
What does that look like as far as, like, how long do you guys actually play for to get into, like, leagues and things like that?
Well, you know, our season, we have 3 invites this week and a dual match Friday, and then next week we have another invite and a dual match on Tuesday, and then school starts. Yep. And then it backs off a little bit. It's usually, you know, every Tuesday or Thursday we'll have a match. But yeah, by the end of September 22nd, I think, is the NWAL meet, and you know, after that you're on to sectionals and districts and then state.
Yep. Well, hoping for good things this year.
Well, we are too. You know, we've got we just talked about Noah to the newspaper, and Noah Heward's had a great career, and hopefully he gets to go out on a positive as a senior.
That'd be great. All right, Coach Todd Grosjean of the Bryan Golden Bears golf team, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
Going to take this time out, come back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Malanga alongside Melanie Reinhart, who's the coach of the volleyball team here at Bryan. And Coach, how many years is this?
Oh man, this is my 22nd overall. This is my 15th year at Bryan.
Wow.
So it doesn't seem like that though. Time has gone really fast.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit last year, how you thought the season went last year.
Last year we were rebuilding. We didn't have the best season, but we had great leadership. We had great seniors that we are seeing, you know, that we had to fill those positions. They played some big roles in the setting position, the hitting position, and you know, our girls have worked really hard and have started to fill those roles.
Let's talk about those seniors. Great group of girls.
Oh my goodness, you can't ask for a better group. I mean, Crystal was a leader for the last couple years as a setter, and Paige, you know, played for us for 3 years on varsity and was just, you know, just a presence out there. And of course, Blaze was a presence at the net as well. So, you know, just having them and on and off the court, they just left a great legacy behind that these girls have been living up to.
And a lot of good leadership skills to kind of help the next generation learn what to do.
Exactly. We are a very young team. We only have 1 senior this year. So, you know, the younger girls that did play with us, you know, they are always saying how much they, you know, admired those girls. They want to hit like Blaze. They want to set like Crystal. They want to hit like Paige, so, and be able to jump. So, I mean, it's, you know, there's just those lasting things. And they were such great work ethic kids in practice. And that tone is just carried over into this year.
What do you have coming out as far as numbers this year?
We have great numbers. We have 23. So we will have freshman JV varsity, which is what we've had the last couple years, which is awesome with how numbers have been fluctuating around the area. So we're really excited to have that. We have very, very young. Like I said, we are 1 senior, but we may have a lot of juniors and sophomores up on varsity, and we have a great freshman group that's picking up the pace, and it's kind of fun to watch them practice. Like, practices go so fast because they are working so hard, and we just get through things so quick.
The youth volleyball program in town, and then we have a junior high program, so just kind of a feeder to here. How important is that to get started at a young age?
Yeah, and volleyball is one of those sports that it is tough to get started at a younger age because it's a slower sport when you're young. But as you get older, it speeds up, and I'm really thankful that our junior high coaches have done a great job of taking the reins and teaching the skills, just the basics that we have. And then Chelsea Cordy has done a great job of starting a youth program, just the basics. We don't have to do anything really big with that, and just getting them to understand the sport. And we had great numbers at our youth camp this year, so hopefully the trend is going to keep going with playing volleyball.
You have a pretty good freshman class then to have a freshman team. It's always good to get started kind of at a lower level, so you're not getting varsity speed and varsity action right away.
Yeah, we have 9 freshmen this year, which is great numbers. That freshman class isn't the biggest class, so that's great to have those. And they're starting to pick up the pace, and there's a couple of them that are going to play up on JV, so they have to come and scrimmage with the varsity team. So they've kind of seen that all summer, and they're starting to adapt really well to that.
That's awesome. And then the JV and varsity, so you'll have all 3 filled. Tell me how you work that. Like, you're the head coach, you got a JV coach, but how involved is it as one whole volleyball program?
Yeah, we practice all together, and I have a great JV coach in Jess Robb, and I have a great freshman coach in Bree Cole, and then Karen Meister's been my varsity assistant. We figured out for about 9 years now. So I mean, we have a great coaching staff, and we do work really well together. Being in a great facility like we have here, we have the possibility of 3 courts if we want them, and we just really focus on building together. We do all the drills together. When we do break up to scrimmage, it's kind of, they'll come over if we need them, but we do a great job, and the older girls are great with the younger girls and incorporating them into the practices and being partners, and it's a great group culture that we have going on.
And that gives you a ton of flexibility with who you can slot where.
Yeah, because volleyball is one of those, you can't just throw kids in to throw them in. You're only limited to a certain amount of subs per game, so once a kid goes in, you really have to be strategic and it's a very skilled sport. Like, you might have somebody that can only play 1 position or 2. So, it's one of those things that we have to really evaluate and find the best rotations and the best kids to go in and out. And I think that my coaching staff has done a great job of working with that.
Are you a more defensive-minded team, a more offensive-minded team? Have you figured that out yet?
Right now, we're pretty defensive-minded. We do a great job just being really scrappy, picking everything up. But we do have a really strong hitter in Ella Van Stakista, and then Kenzie Worth is coming on strong. She has a lot of experience up there. Nora Koonsman's coming on strong, having experience up there. So it's kind of fun to see the balance starting to play out right now.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about our schedule. Okay, we play in the NWOL, which is, I mean, I think every sport tough.
Yes, they are extremely tough. You've got Swanton, who's always really good. Archbold has been great these last couple years, and I feel like every night that you step on the floor, you have to bring your A game, because if you don't, you're going to struggle throughout our league. So, it prepares us so much for tournaments. And, with our schedule, like any fall sports, you have to almost play 3 or 4 games a week. You're not just playing 1 game, and, you can't really spend all your time on one team, because you might play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I mean, we have almost 5 or 6 games in the first 2 weeks. So you just have to play and move on.
And you also, that limits the amount of coaching you can do, because if you play Monday night and you have to jump right back to it Tuesday, there's not a lot of time to fix things.
Yeah, we really only practice once the season goes, maybe 1.5. We call it Fridays are a little bit fun Fridays, but we only practice maybe 1 or 2 times a week. Wow. And we utilize this preseason big time, because you have to be able to prepare in these first couple weeks before season starts.
We talked about the NWOL. What does the non-league slate look like?
We have a really tough non-league schedule. I mean, we're playing Springfield, who is one of the top in the area. Yeah. We've added them. We're playing Coldwater, who's been down at state a couple times. Wow. We're adding Lima Central Catholic. We're trying to get out and about, and we have Fairview, Tenora. I mean, we have great schools in this area, and we're trying to get out closer to the Toledo area as well, because being Division II, you've got to kind of beef it up a little bit before to get to tournaments. But, I kind of feel that we've balanced it out pretty well, and our girls have great competition preparing us.
Let's talk about the makeup of the season, how it goes. So a compressed time frame, or do you spread it out over a couple of months?
No, we really only play We start on, I think, August maybe 21st, and then we are done by October maybe 14th. So I mean, it's really, really compressed time frame. That's why we try to fit so many games. You have to get 22 games in.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just do the best we can trying to find the times. And unfortunately, with the referee shortage, you know, that kind of limits some things too. So we do the best we can to try to make sure we're getting our full schedule in as much as we can.
Now, is volleyball a sport where the postseason's for everybody to start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone makes it into the postseason. And, you know, we have a great district. Our district is really tough, just like basketball. Like, you're going to see the same about teams that are going to be in there. And you just have to be ready to go. Like, you have to be ready every night. And, you know, with a 5-game series, you know, everything can swing back and forth.
Sure.
So, you know, you just have to be prepared and have your girls ready to play.
Does the success that the soccer team has had, the girls basketball team had going to the state, does that kind of rub off on all the athletes at Bryan?
It does. It's created a fun little buzz that we've seen with these fall athletes. And, you know, our girls are always saying, you know, it's our turn now. And I think every girls' sports is looking at that, and boys' sports is looking at that as well. Like, why not us? Why not our turn? You know, we can do that same thing. And I think it's just triggered that school spirit and everything, that everybody is ready to be able to know that we can do the postseason. You know, they kind of open the door for us. So it's exciting time right now at Bryan with girls and boys sports.
Awesome. Well, final thoughts before we let you go?
I just appreciate everything that you guys are going to do for us, and, you know, just the support. We have great fans that come and support us, and being an indoor sport with the air conditioning, I think a lot of them are excited about that
For
part.
sure.
So, you know, we're just excited to get the season started, and we can't wait to see what everyone else is going to do too.
All right, we will have 2 volleyball matches right here on the Golden Bear Sports Network, so stay tuned this year. Melanie Reinhart, thanks for being with me.
Thank you so much.
Coach Melanie Reinhart of the Bryan volleyball team. We're going to take this time out, come back with more on the Fall Sports Preview Edition on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Back out on the Fall Sports Preview Edition of Inside the Bears Den on the Golden Bear Sports Network. I'm Chris Malenga alongside Coach Luke Collins, and I was thinking today, I feel like I've interviewed Collinses forever as part of this.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. I mean, with my dad and me now, they're going on year 5.
You're on year 5 now?
Yeah,
I was just going to
yeah.
ask you. How
Yeah,
does it
year
feel?
5.
Like coming back to your alma mater, you know, you played for your dad and now you're kind of coaching here. I mean, that's got to be feeling pretty good about the tradition at Bryan.
Oh, I love it. You know, it's something that I've been a part of for a long time, and even in the time when I left after I graduated, helping with my brother's team, coming back, playing, coaching those kids, and then as soon as I moved back to Bryan and after college, pretty much knew I wanted to help, so get back involved. So I did a lot with the travel, and you know, now here we are at the high school going on for 5 years, and have coached some of the kids from the travel level as well. So it's kind of full circle all the way around, and I love it.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about last year's season. How do you, if you had to evaluate the season last year, what do you think about it?
You know, I thought obviously the record wasn't fantastic. It wasn't a winning season. We wanted to be obviously winning. We wanted to be kind of doing more, but that really had to happen to build the foundation for where we are now. And I think we developed a lot through that season and exceeded some expectations, but obviously a little bit of disappointment in the league and where we were. But pretty positive, I think, from where we were last season and the growth that needed to happen to get through to this season.
Sure. How many did we lose off of last year's team? Just
3.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who were
only
they?
3 seniors. Tyler Wolf, Micah McCashin, and Joey Watson.
Okay.
So all 3 of them varsity guys, 2 strong leaders on that team, and it's tough to replace the seniors as they leave, but you know, they've actually come out this summer and spent some time with the guys,
That's
helped
awesome.
us out, come back, and you know, as alumni, we want them coming back and kind of preaching the leadership and the stuff that we've been teaching them as coaches for the last 4 years. So it's been good, but yeah, 3 kids.
The first thing that you see when you look at this team is the sheer numbers. This is something that has been an issue, I think, in a lot of our Bryan sports, is that the numbers have kind of dwindled down and you don't have a freshman team and you don't have a JV team. And so everybody gets put onto the varsity team. And, you know, you're going to be a 14-year-old freshman going out against an 18 or 19-year-old senior. Talk about like how that has come to be and how much that is going to be a help to this team to have enough guys to have a JV.
It's huge. It's everything. You know, we try to grow a program, and I think we do such a good job at the youth level with all of our travel and rec kids that come up to the high school. But as you said, you've got 14-year-olds coming up and they're playing 18, 19-year-olds, kids who have had the opportunity to develop for 2 years at JV before getting into the varsity, before even seeing a field at varsity level. And it's a huge difference in physicality and speed. And a massive jump up. So for a lot of these guys, it's tough for the development aspect of that. You know, we're practicing all the time and we practice as a squad. And when you don't have a JV game and JV scrimmages that you can go out and play and put into, put what you practice into play, it makes it difficult. So to have 30, I think 30 kids is what we're at right now, and have 30 kids playing. Full JV team, 2 games every time we play, a JV and a varsity. It's huge for development, so we're ecstatic with it.
That's awesome. All right, so what is the kind of offense you're going to run, kind of defense you're going to run, and who are some of the guys we're going to see this year?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of familiar faces returning. So you know, up front and in the attack, we've got Anthony Tomaszewski and Dylan Koenig. So they've been starters for 3 years now. So as you know, he said, not having to put them into the fire and go right in. They were doing it as freshmen, so they've been around. They've experienced it long enough. So they'll be in our attack. Hunter Muhlfeld stepping up in the midfield. Some returning freshmen who played on the wings, and then in defense, it is going to be a relatively young defense. You know, I think Dom at goal, being a 3-year starter. So he's going into his junior year. Mason Welling, Carter Luce, they're sophomores and juniors. So those are probably some big names that you're going to be hearing and seeing pretty much as the staples for this team.
When you look down at your schedule, what do you see as the games that stick out to you as things that you circle on the calendar, or you think that they're going to be big games?
I mean, it used to be you think of the league and you think of a couple other big games, but to be fair, I think the league is so stacked this year. It's continued to grow. Just in the 5 years that I've been here, it's continued to grow, and the NWOAL has, you know, all across the board, there's 4 or 5 teams who could win that every year. So I think we're circling every game for the league. Every game matters. We lost, or we saw Archbold win here. You know, we lost the game. We saw Archbold win. You know, that gave the boys a bit of a taste of what they wanted and what they saw. So every game for us in league is definitely circled on the calendar.
How are the non-league teams you're playing?
Yeah, good. You know, what we tried to do is balance a little bit in our district. So you look at Elida, you look at Salina, those teams in our districts who matter. They have they have voting rights for us to see where we go in tournament, and we want to play those teams. We want to do the best that we can against them and show that in those Lima areas, when we go there, we can play.
One new little wrinkle you've got this year is you're going to have 3 of your home games on the new turf.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
So turf is really nice. We're excited for it because we know it's consistent and we know that you can move the ball fast, play the ball on the ground. It's not going to be bumping up and down. Play that quick, fast-paced game, passing possession, and open up the channels. And so we're excited for it, just to play, have consistency. The other part that we're really looking forward to is when we go and play teams on turf, we can practice.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for us to play on grass year-round, or I shouldn't say year-round, but all summer and into the fall, and then we go and do turf games, especially in tournaments, and we don't have to practice. So it is a completely different game. So for us, we're excited to be able to use that to practice and use that to get some games and experience on there.
It's a pretty exciting project all around.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's great for the community. Opens us up for so much else outside with tournaments and postseason hosting and things like that. And it just looks so good from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're definitely excited to play on it.
All right, final thoughts on the season, Coach Collins.
I'm excited for this season. I really am. We've, as you said, we've got 30 kids. We've got JV and varsity, so we can develop those guys. And the biggest part for me is we've got, it's all 4 years, but we have good players in every position who are technically skilled. And I think everyone, even the bench players, can go on and do a job and really step up and elevate this team to where we can be.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Luke Collins of the boys soccer team going to take this time out. Come back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Malanga alongside Chad Henry, girls golf coach. And Coach, excited for this golf season?
Yes, very excited. Taking over this year, something new. 3 girls out, so pretty excited.
So girls golf is a new program at Bryan. Previously, girls used to be able to compete on like the co-ed team, but now it's separated out as of last year. And so you're getting a lot of kids that are kind of getting new to the sport. And
Right.
that's something kind of neat.
Yes, it's all new here in Bryan. Yeah, like you said, it used to maybe be a club sport where they were with the boys. But I believe this is the third year here in Bryan. So last year there was 2 girls out. Started with 4 this year, but now we're down to 3.
And it's always good to get more out there and get more experience because this is something that you can use your entire life. Football, you know, you can play maybe through college and maybe if you're really lucky, the pros, but golf is something you can do your entire life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's, you know, like I've always said, there's a lot of business deals that go on the golf course, men and women, and it's something they can use forever.
Absolutely. Now, this golf season is a little unique in the fact that a lot of it takes place before school starts, so you're real underway.
Yes, actually, so the season started August 1st. Our first match was August 4th. So, you know, we practiced a little bit in July and we're full go now.
So do you guys do primarily like big matches where you've got multiple schools, you do duels? How does girls golf schedule work out?
A little bit of everything. We threw the girls into a 18-hole tournament the very first match, and for sophomore Josie Arnold, it was her first match ever. Chloe Meeks says she golfed last year, but yeah, we just kind of threw them out there, and they performed really well.
What have you seen so far from the girls as far as improvement and how they've had success on the course?
Yeah, so with very little practice time so far, haven't been able to figure a lot of things out. It's really just playing on their own, practicing when we don't practice, and just figuring it out as we go.
Unlike a lot of sports like basketball or soccer, golf is something that's both a team sport and an individual sport. So do you think that that's kind of unique in the fact that you're getting a chance to try something on your own and kind of compete against yourself?
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's no different than cross-country wrestling. You know, kind of you have to have 4 or 5 girls, I believe, to compete as a team. So yeah, they're all individual right now, and hopefully years to come we can get more girls out and compete as a team.
You know, and it's something that we definitely want more kids to get involved in, for sure.
Yes, so I was kind of thrown into it pretty late. So we're gonna do, not to look too far, but next year we're gonna start a lot earlier with some camps and just try to do some things in the community to try to get more girls out.
And another thing that we have at Bryan is the dual sport aspect. And so dual sport for golf is really probably one of the ways to go if you're gonna dual sport.
It's very difficult, but yes, sophomore Josie, she's a soccer player and playing golf. It's a commitment,
Yep.
you know, because you got to pick one over the other for your main, and once school starts, everything's right after school, so you got to kind of pick and choose what you want to do. But it's definitely possible. I'd like to see more girls out, and we can make it work.
If you have some goals for this year's golf as you were coming into it, what were some of those goals?
Just to get better, teach them rules and etiquette and what they can't do, what they shouldn't do, and just get better. Just get better individually and try to get better every single week, every single match.
All right, well, Coach, 3 girls out this year. It's a step up, and we're going to keep that program growing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Coach Chad Henry of the girls golf team. We're going to take this time out, come back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network, Chris Malanga alongside the members of the girls golf team here at Bryan, and I'm going to have you guys each introduce yourselves and talk. Tell us what grade you're in and how many years you've been doing this. Go ahead, Chloe.
Hi, I'm Chloe Meeks, and I'm a senior this year, and I've been doing this for 2 years.
I'm Josie Arnold, and I'll be a sophomore, and this is my first year playing golf.
I'm Claire Struble, I'm a freshman, and this is my first year.
All right, so since you've been doing this a couple years, I'm going to start with you. What got you to come out and play golf? Have you played golf before you started this?
I took a few swings when I was probably maybe a freshman. I would just, I'd swing my mom's clubs. But my one friend got me into it because she wanted me to play with her. But she didn't end up staying, so it was just me and my other friend. But I really liked it after that. and I think it's a really good sport. So
As I was talking to your coach a little earlier, soccer's great and football's great and basketball's great, but those sports are not sports that you will probably play the rest of your life. But golf, you really can. And it's something that is, something that's a skill you can learn. So I'm going to turn to Josie here, and we've seen you do all sorts of things with softball and soccer and basketball. What led you to come out for golf?
I don't know. I've played a few times in the summer with my dad, and I don't know. He's just always wanted me to try it and just try something new. And it's been fun when I've played, so I thought, why not just give it a try.
Have you felt like you've had some success early on? I mean, you did pretty well at your first 18.
First match might have been much beginner's luck, but it's been fun.
So you're actually dual sporting with soccer. So how is it to dual sport with golf?
It's not too bad because golf's only been like 2 times a week with practices, but I just normally go to soccer practice and then go to golf right after. So it's a little tiring, but it's not been too bad.
All right, we'll turn to Claire. Claire, how long have you been playing golf?
I started like actually playing this summer, but yeah.
What kind of led you to want to be out in the golf team?
I think my dad really wanted me to just try it, and it's like a great sport to do because I can do it forever, like you said, and it's just like, it's a good sport, good opportunities.
What have you thought so far? You're a freshman, this is kind of the first year doing this. What have you thought as you've gone out? What has your experience been like?
It's been good. I just think I need to work a lot harder at it, and it will grow over time.
All right, so Chloe, we started out with a couple girls last year. We got 3 this year. What do we need? What do you want to tell the people that might be watching about the sport and coming out and trying it?
well, it's like not that hard to learn, to be honest, and it may be difficult at first, but it's very easy to grow, and you just got to put time into it, and you'll make so many friends, and it's such a nice sport. People are so friendly, and I think it's just a missed opportunity if you don't join, to be honest.
All right, I'm going to pick on you again, Josie. Coach Henry, you're a new coach this year. Has it been good for him to get to know the program and you to get to know each other? How's it been working with him?
It's been good. I mean, we're both first time at it, but he's been a good coach and has led to lots of learning opportunities.
That's great. Well, we encourage people to come on out and get involved in this program. This is a program we want to grow because as you get more numbers, you can start to play more as a team. So that's really exciting. So any last words that you want to say to people watching, Claire? Put you on the spot last.
I don't know. It's a great opportunity.
All right. So again, the members of the girls golf team, and come out and learn more about the sport of golf and join this team. So back after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Malanga here on this special edition of Inside the Bears Den Fall Sports Preview. I've got Coach Grant Redhead with me, and Coach, been here how many years now, Brian?
This is my 9th year.
And overall?
This is my 29th year. I actually turned 22 when I was a student assistant after I graduated and did a year at Baldwin Wallace University, and then went into, this is 28 in high school.
That's amazing. Last year, a pretty successful season, got into the playoffs, and you ran into a buzzsaw with Elyria Catholic. That team was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You make the playoffs, and you watch the film, and you know what your kids can do, and you're going, okay, if we play well, we can play with these guys. And, but when they play well, even though we played well, it was a tough game. And, there's always somebody bigger and better.
Yep.
And they ran into Glenville.
Yep,
and, Van Wert ran into Glenville, and they won the whole enchilada.
Yeah. So, but starting fresh again this year, another season of Bryan football. We've got our nice stadium project. We're pretty excited about that, aren't we?
Oh, it's fantastic. Dave Batt and the Boosters have done a great job with helping us and giving the kids in this community the best facility in this, quarter of the state. It's better than facilities in Toledo. It's better than small colleges. It is amazing.
So we've got the turf happening, field turf, just like the pros would use.
Yes.
So first class. Got new stadium lighting that'll definitely help the brightness of the game and not have any shadows. It'll be nice. Got the video board that will be installed. I keep sweating on that one just because that's the one I'm going to have to deal with. But that'll be up and going. So it should be a great atmosphere for football, especially the netting around. It just all looks first class.
Yeah, and that's the thing that the boosters and Dave have gone all out. They have put in countless hours, and this community is lucky to have them. This is a special place. I've said that. People band together and they do what's right for the kids in the community, and they want them to have the best. And there's a lot of pride here. So it's going to be fun to show it off.
Yeah. Well, that first game, we'll talk more about the team and everything. But that first game against Van Wert, there's a lot going on. Meet the teams night. You've got the stadium dedication. It's going to be a pretty electric atmosphere.
Yeah, it'll be busy, and my message to the boys will be like, enjoy it, but keep your focus. Yep. And that's not hard to do. No. They're there to play the game, and their focus since we started summer workouts has been beat Van Wert. That's a big one, and we haven't done it in several years. So hopefully they're done with all-state quarterbacks. They've had 6 years of all-state quarterbacks, and you just run into that and sometimes, but. They're down a little bit from where they were, and I think we're going to be decent, so it should be a good game.
Let's talk about the makeup of Brian's teams. Smaller in numbers than had been in the past, or about the same?
Smaller. We've got 43. Yeah. We had some ineligibility. We had one have to get surgery on a shoulder, and then we had others that just decided they'd rather go do something easier or work or not do anything. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. We haven't done anything different, and the programs have been successful. So I had to do a lot of deep reflection, say, what's going on here? Right. And we've come up with it's nothing we're doing. It's just the product we've got right now, and some of the kids just aren't invested in anything, and they'd rather relax.
Yeah. Well, and you want the kids that are going to be all in.
Yeah,
that's the
what
kind of
I've
kids
got is great,
yeah.
And they show up every day and they come to work, and I don't worry about the ones that don't have.
Yeah,
they don't mean anything. I worry about the ones I do. That's my family, that's my kids, and that's who we're going to coach.
All right, so let's talk about some of the faces we're going to see. Immediately, what comes to mind is Sam Harold, who had a heck of a year last year at fullback, and also on defense, and he played lights out last year.
Yeah, Sammy was phenomenal running the ball. After the fourth game of the year, I said, hey, we got to do something because these guys aren't being as effective. We had Sammy and Aiden Pels both playing running back and linebacker, but they weren't being as effective at either spot.
Right.
So I limited their reps on one side of the ball and gave them more on the other. Aiden played primarily defense, Sammy played primarily offense, and they both did much better. And it helped our team.
Absolutely. Quarterback, we had kind of a combo with Dylan Dominic, Jace Kepler, and Dylan has graduated. And anytime you see a kid that works that hard leave the program, you're sad but excited for the future for him.
Yeah, and he's going on and playing baseball in college. And Jace was the starter going in his sophomore year. Started last year, but had a game that he had to come out of, or he wasn't able to play in because he was sick. And then, Dylan played some and stepped in and kicked all year. But, Jason had 2,300 yards, and he had the best stats in the NWAL, but yet made honorable mention at quarterback. So that's still a sore spot with me.
Sure.
And, we're going to make sure that they have to respect his numbers this year.
Last year when we talked, the offensive line was kind of the strength of the team. They were going to be able to open some holes, which we definitely saw with both Jace and Sam. How do they compare this year?
We are not quite as big. We were huge last year, but we're not small either.
Yep.
Our left tackle's 260, our right tackle's probably 240, and our guards are 220, and our center's the skinny mini at 190, but they're athletic. So we're still looking for one. 4 solid. There's one that still we're not sure of, and we got to keep rotating guys in and see how it goes. But
how about on the other offensive skill positions? We've talked a little bit about back, but how about receiver?
We're loaded. We have all upperclassmen, kids that have been in the program 3 and 4 years, and we actually have a freshman that's going to be getting some time. subbing in, and he's Anthony Weber's doing a great job, catches everything that gets near him, and he's deceptively quick, so that helps.
While we're talking about offense, what kind of offensive scheme? We're going to still be spread?
Yeah, we're spread, and we're going to, throw the ball. We do like to run it, but, you just can't stay in, and when they put 9 in the box and keep pounding it, we gotta take what they give us.
Got to be flexible.
Yes.
All right, defensively, what are we setting up in?
Well, we're still in a 4-2-5. I do have a 30 package, just like last year. It's a little bit different from the personnel. One of the things that I've learned in all the years I've been doing this is you just can't be stubborn and say, I run this offense and this defense no matter what. We don't have the numbers. And a lot of schools in Northwest Ohio don't. You have to adjust slightly within your scheme. So even though we're still spread, we'll be more 50-50. Last year we were more run heavy.
Gotcha. Defensively, who are some of the guys we're going to see? We got a lot playing both ways within the 40s.
Yeah, and we have some subs for them. But, linebackers, Sam Harold, Rainer Clemens, and Damian Wolf. And Sam and Rainer rotate. Damian's going to be start at linebacker, and if we go 2 backs, he goes in as a back too. So I just have to sub them smart. They did pretty good again in the Hicksville scrimmage, and we'll see what they, do against Napoleon and how well conditioned we are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit warmer.
Yeah. Jaden Dennis is returning in as a D end, and Colby Smith, really lifted hard in the offseason, gained some weight, and we put him in at D end, and he's starting to be a bit of a bully out there, which is good.
Yeah,
when you're on the defensive side, that's good. Not in the hallways, on the field.
That's right. How about corners and safeties?
Corners and safeties, we've got Maddox Langendorfer, we've got Carter Brown. A lot of our receivers are our DBs. Drew Hahn just got cleared, so he'll be ready for next week. And Jace is back there, so we've got plenty of guys. Gavin Jessing's done well. Carter Dominic's, we moved him into the secondary, so he's doing well too. So what we have is good. It's just depth. If we knock on wood, we can't afford multiple injuries at a position, because then we'll get down to, sophomores and freshmen that aren't ready.
Right, exactly. Overall, you're pretty optimistic then about things for the season?
Yeah. I am every year, and then, we'll see if I stay that way. I hope, boys, do your job, and I'll stay that way.
So what's the league look like for you?
League is good. The coaches voted last Sunday, and we were voted 4th, tied for 4th with Wauseon, and Archibald and PH were tied for 2nd, and then Liberty was 1st. We beat PH, and we about beat Archibald, and Archibald lost a lot, and we really didn't. We lost the line, but again, the line we have now isn't much different. Yeah. So I think we're going to sneak up, and we're going to bite a couple people and catch them. And that'll be good. Last year we got Wauseon and PH, and they were stunned.
Yeah, we talked about Van Wert as our opening game. You got that. It's always one of the longest opening rivalries in state history. Then you have Maumee and Fairview for the rest of your non-league. How do those games shape up with you? I mean, Fairview obviously a local rival. We just kind of picked up a couple years ago. Maumee was in the Northern Lakes League and has moved. And so what do you see out of those 2 games when you look at them?
Definitely, Van Wert's Van Wert. It's always going to be a tough battle. Maumee is much improved. They improved last year over the year before. And so we're going to have to come and make sure that things do well and the kids take it serious. And then Fairview is rebuilding. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. We haven't seen them at any 7-on-7s or anything, but I think they'll be better. It's just, I think our skill players are, much more advanced because they're juniors and seniors. I think they got a lot of young kids playing.
Yeah, and Coach Rakes is back there at Fairview too, which is a little bit of a change. So final thoughts as we get ready to kick this season off?
Yeah, it's all about the way the ball bounces. You need a little bit of luck, and you need a little bit of sweat and a little bit of blood, and hopefully no tears. And just play the game and do it because you love it and you enjoy it, and that's about it. I tell the boys we represent our community every Friday night, and that's why I take it so serious. That's That's why I take losses so hard, because we all feel like we let the community down, but that's a good thing. You know, that means we care and the kids care. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck as we go throughout the season. We'll be talking with you every week about the following game.
yeah, great.
All right, Coach Grant Redhead here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. We're going to take this time out. Be back with more on the Fall Sports Preview here on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Melanie here with you on the Fall Sports Preview Edition, and we're here with our cheerleading advisors, Kristi Morr and Kyleigh Meeker-Blad. Thanks for being here, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so first off, I always have to do the diagnostic thing, like how long you've been cheerleader advisor here, and you know.
So I have been coach since 2015. I took over as head coach in 2018 and brought Kyleigh on with me at that time.
So I'm entering my 6th year as assistant.
And you guys both have had daughters go through the program, which is kind of how you got involved in it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you at Ireland and
Yes.
and
Tegan.
Yep.
She'll be a senior this year.
How is that first off, coaching your own kids?
It's hard.
I would say it's difficult. Absolutely.
It makes it a challenge. I was kind of excited when Ireland graduated just to see what it was going to be like without her. And it was almost like a breath of fresh air, but I definitely missed her and her skill set that she brought. But it's been good. It's been good either way.
All right, so let's talk about the makeup of the team and how we have it going. So first off, you've got the fall sports, and so
Yes.
you're basically, for football is kind of the primary thing you do there.
Yes.
But I was in over the weekend, and we've got spirit signs for all sorts of different teams. So talk about kind of what you do through the fall.
So we start our practices in June. We have a very heavy June schedule. We go lighter in July just to kind of give the girls a summer. Then, of course, August 1st starts mandatory, and that's when we do all fall senior athletes. We make a big banner for them according to their sport. So this year we have 43,
I believe,
seniors, 6 of which are cheer. So we are a pretty heavy senior squad this year for varsity, which is nice, but next year it'll be a little different, not having all those girls. But so yeah, the girls get started with all of that, and I think the other athletes truly appreciate the work that they put in to do those signs, because it's hours.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. Like, I was kind of looking at some of them and just like the detail on them.
Yes.
They do a really good job on
Yes.
that. So,
Yep.
so that's the kind of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't
Right.
see. Do you do any other behind the scenes kind of stuff that people wouldn't see when they're out there at a football field on a Friday night?
I mean, just the countless hours of learning. I think there's like 70 sideline cheers. There's about 25 quarter cheers. They do a lot.
Yeah.
They do a lot.
I do a little bit of community service over the summer, so we help in July. I know other athletics do as well, but
With the summer lunch program, they volunteered for that. So
I think it's neat to see them out in the community, the kids out in the
Absolutely.
community. Now, you guys are going to be participating in the Williams County Fair Cheer.
yes,
How does
September
that all work?
12th. So we will probably do it's called Game Day,
Okay.
which we will do the fight song and then a quarter cheer and a chant. It's a 3-minute routine. And last year we didn't participate just because numbers were a little off. But I think Hilltop did it last year in Eden, and so we kind of missed a good opportunity to go up against some of those smaller schools. But hopefully we'll do well this year.
Yeah, that's exciting. You said that's September.
September 12th,
All right.
Tuesday.
and we always encourage the girls. There's opportunity for some individual things to do. So there's a jump off and tumbling, and so we always encourage the girls to participate. But it's ultimately up to them to do those individual scorecards. But we'll see. We just encourage. We can't
Yep.
Yep.
make them do those.
So, what's the makeup of the team this year? How many? kids
So
on the
we
squad?
have 8 on varsity. 6 of those, including Sherwin, are seniors. So it's a lot.
Yeah, that's right.
And then JV is very small numbers this year, but we're hoping with the 8th graders coming up next year, because there's about a handful of 8th graders coming up. So we're hoping to grow the squad each year.
Because the squad start down in junior high, 7th,
Yes.
8th grade. So-
Actually, 5th and 6th grade, we
Okay.
do Little Bears.
Sure.
Our varsity girls will be practicing with the 5th and 6th graders for Little Bears football, and so that's even more work for them. So, and starting school again
Yep.
next week, it's going to be a lot on their plate, but we just encourage them because they're mentors for the little girls. So.
And you guys also have the night when the little kids can come cheer at the football game, which is really, really cool.
So that's pre-K through 6th grade. We've been averaging between 90 and 100 for that, and it's a lot of work. But man, it's so awesome seeing all those little ones out there.
It is really cool, like to see. I think just last year in the gym, when the whole gym floor was filled with kids. It's just, I mean, it's getting that spirit all the way down.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that is happening this year that most people don't know about is the fact that all the students are going to get in free to the games this year, from pre-K to 12th grade. So no cost, so students can come out and go to the games. Do you think that is going to really enhance the crowd atmosphere?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Because we need more student body involvement.
Absolutely.
We have, in the last couple of years, had the girls go down 2nd and 4th quarter to cheer in front of the student section, just because I don't think that there was that interaction. Especially with football season, because you're not right in front of the student section all the time. You're mainly in front of the parent section. So the girls absolutely love that. And I think the student body does too, because it gives them a chance to really get into some of the chants that the girls do. And so.
Yeah, lots of exciting things happening at the stadium with the new turf and everything, the scoreboard and everything like that. So a lot of opportunities to really get people involved in the game. Because we don't want people to come out and just kind of sit around. We want them to get involved, because that really does help the team.
Yes, absolutely.
So
involvement.
You guys do that, and then in the winter, do we have a change in turnover in girls, or is it kind of the same?
We'll actually only have one being brought back on for JV, but everybody else is going to remain the same. Nice. So it's kind of nice that they learn those fundamentals, in June, and it's actually a June through February squad.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Have you ever had kids go on past high school and do some stuff in college and things like that?
Yes, we've had a couple. The former head coach, Peggy Musser, her daughter went to St. Francis. She cheered there. Chloe Wiley just last year, I think she was a senior, right?
No.
2 years, my goodness, time flies. But she went to Ashland and was part of their dance and cheer team, so. Yeah.
It's really an opportunity to even go a little further with that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So any other things that are going on in the fall?
No. We've hit it all. We're looking forward to the season and getting out on that track. We haven't been out there all summer. It's so different practicing in the gym compared to the track. But so we're ready.
We're excited. We're eager. The girls are excited, of course, and eager just to be out there and see it. They're going to see it for the first time, just like everybody else in the community. So we're a little antsy. We're used to being out there and being able to practice and go through some run-through items that are essential, and we're not going to have that opportunity. So.
Yeah, all of us are going to kind of be flying by a little bit on the 18th there. So, But, you guys do is amazing. It really adds to the spirit, and the fact that you support all the student athletes, not just the football team, is great. So.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, it is the cheerleading squad here. Back after this on the Fall Sports Preview on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Melanie alongside Coach Mitchell Owens of the tennis team. And tennis, of course, split between the two seasons. The girls go in the fall, the boys go in the spring. And, how many years has it been since you've been here?
2008, I started coaching tennis here, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a few years.
It has been. And we've had a lot of success here in the tennis program over the course of years. You're talking about since 2018, having a state qualifier every year.
Yeah, we kind of been on a streak here. 2018, we had been almost over a decade since we'd sent someone to state, and then since 2018, we've been fortunate enough to send kids to state, and the girls are right in there as well. We have a state qualifier back this year in Caitlin DeWitt, so we're excited about that. That obviously anchors our team, and we're really excited about the season.
When you look up at those signs over there, you see one that is Reese Grotehouse.
Yeah.
She is one that is one of the seniors that you lost last year, and just a phenomenal athlete and a big loss to the team.
We're not the only program. Sorry to see her go, as you're quite aware, but losing Reese does take something out of the team. She's a 3-time state qualifier, the only girl to ever qualify in tennis for state 3 times. It's a loss. It's certainly a loss. She's a talent. But we feel good about, the younger kids coming up and moving in, and Caitlin's going to move into her spot in the number 1. single spot, and we feel good about that because she has tons of experience too. So we'll do our best to replace her. But she's hard to replace.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you look at the makeup of the team, how does it break down kind of grades? Are you upper class heavy, lower class heavy?
So we're upper class heavy. So we have 1 sophomore starting, and then everyone else. We have 3 seniors and 3 juniors filling those roles. So it's kind of a good mix, actually. It's not like we're going to lose 6 seniors. You know, one year we did lose like 6 seniors, and that's tough to replace. But so we kind of are in a good space right now to, you know, we're going to lose 3 seniors, but we have plenty of sophomores come up. We have 6 freshmen this year learning the game and learning all the strategy of tennis. So right now I feel really good about how we're all set up.
When you look at how tennis is scored and how it's played, why don't you walk people through like how, because when you look over at the team right now, you see a very large number of kids.
Yeah.
How is that played? How is things set up?
Yeah, I mean, tennis is definitely a weird sport, and part of your freshman year is learning how to do that if you haven't played tennis before. So tennis tries to make a really simple sport, which is hitting the ball over net, super complicated in the scoring field. So, so you start off with love, which is what we all like, right? I mean, we're a team of love.
But it's 0.
But it's 0. It's 0. And then the first score is 15, and then it's 30. Of course, logically, next one would be 45, but it's not. We decided just 40. We can't count above 40. So it's 15, 30, 40. And then if we tie at 40 in the game, it's deuce. And then, you know, if you win that first point, you're serving, it's add in, and that just means advantage. And so there's a lot of history behind this, but so then you complete a game, you play first to 6 games, but you have to win by 2. But you can't go over 6-6 in your score. So if it's 6-6, you do a tiebreaker and you throw everything you learned away from there. And now you start doing tiebreakers, you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's first to 7, counting by 1s, and you still have to win by 2. And not only in tiebreak do you have to count by 1s, win by 2. Whenever a score is divisible by 6, like if it's 3-3 or 4-2, you have to change sides randomly in the middle of playing. Did you have your pencils out?
That's right. 'Cause that's totally good. Yeah, every time I watch tennis, I'm like, okay, this is.
I know.
I think we're doing well, but
it's the struggle for our sport to get spectators because they're always. I mean, even new moms and dads are asking like, what is happening right now? And they're just like, relax. You'll learn by the end of the season.
So when you play a match against like a dual match against a team, you go for 5 points basically. So a win over a team is basically 5-0.
Correct.
And it's
correct.
If I'm right, it's 3 singles, 2 doubles.
3 singles, 2 doubles in Ohio. Every state's a little different. Like Michigan's way different. I think they play 11 total kids. We play 7 total kids. Yeah, so 3 singles. And the big thing is you have to play your singles in order. So we have to do a ladder, it's called in tennis, where we have to play an intra-squad and we have to rank our kids from best, you know, all the way down. So our first singles have to be better, second, better, and third. But our doubles are totally separate. Our doubles just have to be better than each other. Okay. It doesn't really. We could have, you know, someone that ranked 10 or 11 on the ladder be our best doubles, and if they play doubles better than singles, then they start.
Do you normally have the same 7 kids do those things, or do you mix different kids into it?
I always try to get younger kids experience throughout the season. And so we have teams we know are maybe a little weaker. We can sub some kids in and get them experience. It's really, you know, when you take a look at building a program, you want as much experience coming back the next year. Right. So, you know, this year some of those sophomores are going to get a lot of experience that way.
So let's talk about some names that we'll see. You already mentioned Kyleigh DeWitt, but let's talk about some of the other kids we're going to see.
Sure. So next up, this will be lost on almost all the viewers unless maybe you're over 50 or 60. We have the Andrews sisters. So Hannah Andrews is a senior. Miley's a sophomore. She's our starting sophomore. So that'll be our second and third singles. Miley worked hard over the off season as a freshman, came in this year and really impressed and earned her spot at third singles. At doubles, we have a lot of experience. We have Molly Hess and Caitlin Noggle anchoring our doubles. Caitlin played doubles last year and Molly played doubles last year. So they're joining forces. They look really good this year, and I'm excited about them. And then we have Lucy Vashaw and Ava Lambert at second doubles. Lucy has some experience from last year. Matter of fact, we had an injury last year, and so Lucy actually substituted down in Columbus for our state Final Four team. So she has some experience coming in. So I'm excited about all the positions. You know, obviously we have some that with a little bit less experience, but I feel like we have experience all across the board this year.
let's chat about the schedule, how it shakes out. Because in the middle of your season, don't you go and play a tournament?
We have a gauntlet. We have like 10 days where we play the best teams possible. I don't know why we don't stretch those out. We have a new AD. Maybe I'll get with him on that. But no, so we start the season well with some good. We played Archbold the other night this week. They're a really solid team this year. They got a good team, nice depth, and we performed well against them. And then we kind of go through the first couple weeks playing teams we feel good about, and then we hit Ottawa Hills, and from there on we hit several teams that are tough. I mean, Ottawa Hills, I don't care what's happened in the world or if they're playing 7th graders. Ottawa Hills is just, they bring them up from the time they're in diapers and they're playing tennis, so they're always a very difficult team to play. We've had some success the last couple years. We've had to beat them to get to state Final Four. We're going to be competitive, but that happens at the end of August. Also at the end of August, play Maumee Valley Country Day. Again, just a lot of talent on that team. And then right after Labor Day, we play Lima Central Catholic. So the private schools, and Ottawa Hills I consider a semi-private school in a lot of respect. They're always tough, and they just land right in the middle of our schedule.
Now, there isn't an NWL in tennis, but do you play in the league?
We do, yes. So NBTL is Northern Buckeye Tennis League, and it's just kind of homeless tennis teams,
Gotcha.
That don't have a league,
right?
And we formed a league, and so that happens actually at the end of the season. We have a doubles tournament of Northwest Ohio teams that happens early September. So we have 2 tournaments there. So we always look forward to our tournaments. It's a fun day.
And then towards the end of the season, we start getting to the tournament time, the state tournament. When does that about get going?
So there's 2 tournaments. There's a team tournament in tennis. That's where we've been fortunate to hit the Final Four the last couple of years. And then we have the individual tournament, because tennis is kind of a both-and sport. Individual and then team. So you can make it as a team, you can make it as an individual. So that happens early October, and then basically the whole month of October is tournament. We're just playing individual tournament or state team tournament.
There you go. So
yeah.
Busy season.
It's a busy season. Yeah.
Looking forward to it, though.
Well, we're looking forward to it too. So.
And you have a chance. You should get your 400th win at some point.
So
soon.
so we are, or I am about 3 wins away from getting my 400th win. So yeah, it could be a special year all the way around that way. So, but I mean, I don't go out and play the matches. Right. The girls play the matches, but I've been fortunate to have some good teams and a good program, and the girls work hard. And I just tell the seniors, pass it down. You just got to keep passing it down.
Absolutely.
So they do a great job.
Well, best of luck to you and the ladies.
Thank you.
Coach Mitchell Owens of the girls tennis team going to take this time out. Come back with more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Welcome back out for our final segment here on the Fall Sports Preview on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Chris Malenga alongside Coach Garret Gleckler of the Bryan Cross Country team. So, Coach, welcome. We talked with you in the spring with track, and here you are again in the fall for cross country.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, how many years is this for you, coaching cross country?
So, coaching in total, this would be season 9.
Wow.
But it's season, let's see what it would be. This would be the 5th at Bryan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And how many as head coach?
This is year 2.
Yep. Okay, I thought that I had that correct. So cross country is a great sport, sport for all different kinds of ability levels, and a sport that, like golf, something you could do for the rest of your life.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the goal, to get all of the runners interested in, after graduating, running throughout their lives.
All right, so let's talk about the makeup of your team. You guys have both the boys and the girls team, and Casey Thormeyer is kind of helping you out with that. Yep. Tell us a little bit about the makeup, as far as numbers. Are we big this year, small this year?
So we have 13 boys and 8 girls, so pretty similar to what they have been the last few years. Those that we have are really getting after it and working hard, though. So yeah, we're happy with the numbers right now.
So how does the season shake out as far as when you guys actually get started? As we were doing our interviews today, we saw people running through the park and everything like that. Have you started any meets yet?
No, meets don't start till August 26th. So that would be a Saturday, the last Saturday in August. That's at Salina for high school. Junior high opens theirs at Defiance, but more often than not, junior high and high school run at the same invites.
Yeah. And so this time that you're working, are you, what's the training regimen to get kids ready to run? What have you been doing all summer to get going?
So we had a summer incentive program with team backpacks. So if we had athletes, so we had 21 days over the summer where we met for optional practices. And if they were here for at least 12 or more of those, and they had a certain number of miles. I think first year it was 125 miles over the summer, second year 175 miles, and then third and fourth year was 225 miles for the summer. So if they hit that and they showed up to that amount of practices or more over the summer, then they'd receive a backpack, which we're ordering those soon, so they'll be able to, kind of reap the benefits of what of the time that they put in over the summer.
So what is the length of mileage? I ask you this every year, but I think people aren't as familiar with that sport. What is the mileage that kids will run?
So it's 3.1 miles, which is a 5K that they'll run for all their races for high school, and then junior high runs 2 miles.
Okay. Yeah. And so to get them going, how many miles, like in the summer, like if you had a practice, or how many miles would you have the kids be running to get to that 3 to start?
Yeah, it really varies. So early on in the summer, we're running around 15 miles a week. So we'll run 5-6 days a week. Usually it's just 5 the first week that we get into it, and they're running anywhere between 2.5-3 miles a day, and then it builds up. By the end of the summer, like Xander, for example, end of the summer he was hitting 45, whereas some of our younger guys and girls, we don't want to load up too much and risk any injuries, so they're getting up to upper 20s or lower 30s.
Let's talk about Xander. You mentioned him.
Yeah.
He's we've had a great tradition of running the past few years. A lot of kids that have really set the bar high, and Xander's one of them. So talk about him.
Yeah, so he has an outstanding work ethic, and fortunately, Josh Taylor to run with his freshman and sophomore year, who kind of set the bar high for him to put forth a ton of effort. But he's putting in a ton of time, and I know his goals are super high for this season because he placed 12th at state last cross country season, and I know he wants to do even better this year. Yeah.
That's awesome. So and Josh is in college running. So I mean, that's the ability. That again is talking about getting a chance to move on and do things.
Sure.
So.
And we're fortunate. Occasionally, Josh has been here over the summer, at least the last week or two. So yesterday for their long run, he and Xander went 10 miles, and Josh helped pull him along, but it was a really good long run. Yeah.
On the girls' side, Claire Thormeyer is one that Claire's the younger one. I always get them mixed up. But Kate is somebody that came on as a freshman strong and has continued.
Yeah, so she has been at state now 3 different times. So last year was her first year in cross country, and then she's made it to state twice for track for the 1600, but she's put in a ton of miles too. I know by the end of the summer she was up to 37 or 38 by the end, and really what you put in over the summer will lead to success then in the fall.
Absolutely. How different is it running cross country than track? I mean, you have kids that like to run track, but then they look at, a 3200s 8 times around the track.
Right.
Like, do you get kids that like one or the other? I mean,
yeah, we definitely do. I mean, there's some that are more track-based, like Spencer Woodward. He's a freshman this year. He was really strong in the 400 and 800 in junior high. He had both of the junior high records for those events. So he's geared a little bit more toward track, and I think he likes track more, but he enjoys cross country too. But he's one that would be probably more of a track guy than cross country guy.
You have a great facility out here, a great course here in the Bryan Parks, and talk about, have you guys adjusted the course at all any, or?
So it's the same as it was last year. We adjusted it to where it's staying on just one side of the park now, as opposed to crossing the road
the street and over
like
to the ice rink
to.
that one time.
So it repeats 2 times through. So basically each route is about 1.5 miles, and it repeats twice for high school. For junior high, it just extends a little further for their second loop.
So when you go out on the road and go to some of these invitationals and things, what are the teams that are around us that are the ones we're going to be looking out for?
Yeah, so for boys, Delta is pretty strong. They're really young. They have like everyone back. And then Archbold, they made it to state in cross country last year as a boys team, and they have, I think, 3 or 4 of their runners from the top 7 back, so they'll be pretty solid too. But our boys team's looking to try to win a league title because it's been a while since they have.
How about on the girls' side?
Girls' side, so we have Liberty Center with the majority back.
Oh my gosh, that is a good cross country.
It is.
Even as when my kids were involved, it's like crazy.
Right, Liberty Center, and then Patrick Henry, who they have almost everyone back too. Both those teams ran at state last year, and then our girls' team will be real strong so we have Kate leading the way with Nicolette close by. So Nicolette Stickney will be a sophomore. And her freshman times were very similar to Kate's freshman times, so looking forward to seeing her make a jump from freshman to sophomore year. And then we have the Alianakian twins, who will likely be our 3-4 runners, who will really help out. I'm glad that they chose to continue running in high school too. And then our other 4 girls put in a good amount over the summer too. We have Casey Shea, Kelby Knight, Cassie McDade, and Kate Moss.
Nice.
So in total, we have 4 new runners for the
Great.
girls, and then 4 returners.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. And when we score cross country, it's your top 7 runners?
So top 5 are the scoring
Okay.
members, and then they use the number 6 for a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So your goal is to get as many runners up there
Yeah.
as possible
Yeah.
in the tops, but your top 5 are the ones who score.
Right.
So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah, and I mean with this group of 8th graders that's coming up right now, for boys especially, it's going to be super helpful because in junior high last year they won the, it's not an official meet, but they won the junior high state meet. So with the group of 8th graders coming up to freshmen this year, and then the 7th graders that are now 8th graders, the future looks really bright.
Yeah, the program looks strong.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, any final thoughts?
I'm just really excited for the season ahead.
Yeah. Can people come out? Are there meets here?
Yeah. So junior high has a meet on August 28th. I think it's just a dual or a tri meet, and then we have our invite on September 5th. It'll be a Tuesday, the day right after Labor Day. We'll have 12 teams this year, so it is growing in size.
We want people to come out and check out the cross country team for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Garret Gleckler of the cross country team. That's going to do it for this edition of the Fall Sports Preview. I want to thank Athletic Director Nathan Keel, Athletic Secretary Teresa Kuzmal, Golden Bear Photo, and all the coaches and athletes that talked to me on this episode. So stay tuned on the Golden Bear Sports Network. BryantSports.com is your source for all of the Golden Bear athletics. I'm Chris Malenga. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.